today or this evening, wherever you are in the world and whatever time it is. I'm Sophia with Garden State Film Festival. I am here with wonderful filmmakers once again for our filmmaker interviews. It is the 22nd annual Garden State Film Festival this year. We have over 200 films from 14 different countries, and they will be screening across various venues March 21st through March 24th. And one of the films you can check out is a homegrown short documentary called The Challenge. I am here once again with these great filmmakers and artists. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Fantastic.
Amazing. Me too. 2 thumbs up. We love it. We love it. So let's talk about the challenge. But first, let me introduce yourselves for me in the audience.
All right, I'll start first. My name is Michael Penix. I'm a filmmaker by trade, but I'm also a teacher here at Franklin High School. Been here for about 20 years. Overseeing this program, and we teach television production and film production.
I'm Kennedy Smith. I am a theater student here at Franklin High School. I am also producer of this challenge. Yeah.
Hi, I'm PJ Bracco. I'm a filmmaker with my company Red Hook Films, and I'm also a new teacher here at Franklin High School, working with Michael Penix in the studio over here at One TV, teaching film and television.
Wonderful. All around, claps all around. I know we had a lot of other great artists who were involved in making the challenge, so we'll shout them out. But yes. First, what is the challenge? Can one of you tell me about the film?
Oh, so one day in November, all of us, we collaborated with Linden High School, and we had a challenge to do. We had to make a film, a short film in like 3-4 hours. And we only had like an hour to film, like about 2 hours to edit. Not really, like it was just a big ball of stress, but we really enjoyed ourselves. We just made a bunch of short films with prompts. Each group got a prompt, and we used the school however we wanted to. So there was a lot of people who went outside. There's some people who went to like different offices of the school. So yeah, it was definitely a challenge.
And every year we get a chance to do these master classes with another high school in the area. And so we basically take 2 television classes from 2 different schools. Mm-hmm. We combine them together. And this year we decided that we were going to put together a challenge of them making a short film, 3 short films, I do believe.
Yes.
And then, and they had about 3 hours to do it. And they had to come up with the whole idea for it. But it gives them a chance to see what it's like to actually work in the real field of television, actually utilizing all their skills. And they didn't meet these students until pretty much the day of the challenge. Right. So not only did they have to, come up with an idea for a film, but they had to learn how to collaborate with different people from another school. But it was interesting because they're the same type of school like us. They have producers and directors and videographers. And so what was it like to work with students that you weren't used to working with?
They were definitely a very different set of people, but honestly, we all knew what we did best and we collaborated together. And I got a good group. Shout out to Issa and Gabe. Love you guys, because I couldn't have done it without them. My whole group couldn't have, done it without each other. But it's very different. We had to get used to each other for sure. And feel each other out. But like, we really barely had time to do that. So honestly, we just got down to work, and yeah.
I love everything about it. Go ahead, PJ.
One of the really cool things about the documentary is that you actually see these students that didn't know each other. You watch them click right away and just get to work to make this whole thing happen. They overcame the initial challenge right away, which was getting to know each other. Everything just jived, and it was work after that. And a lot of fun.
Right. And the documentary is like the documentary of them making the film. So
Thank you. That was my next question. So everything we're talking about, what we have at Garden State Film Festival is basically a documentary of this amazing program, this day that you have.
Exactly.
So did you guys make the challenge, this short documentary, as like in 3 hours, or this was separate?
Oh, this was a separate matter.
Okay.
they were done on like two different days, but they were really close together because what we did came out like so great. Like it came out much better than we expected. We thought it was gonna be like, but what we did there, we actually created something that we all enjoyed, and other people enjoyed it too when they saw it featured on our school's TV show production. So it was just really awesome.
And I think it's nice to teach them how to go behind the scenes to show them, because we had them documenting. We always had other camera people walking around documenting them making the film. And so it was kind of like, in real time, how they went about it. So we had all this footage. And since we had all this behind the scenes footage, I said, wouldn't it be cool to kind of like do a story based off of us making the 3 short films? So within the documentary, you see clips of the short films, right? The documentary is pretty much based on the actual challenge of them 2 schools coming together and actually creating something from scratch.
So is that how it started? No matter what, you were going to be taping footage and behind the scenes stuff of this challenge. And then once you had all this, it was like, hey, we should make a documentary. So it happened kind of after the fact? Or did you guys know you were going to make this film?
Well, we document everything. I try to document everything that we do, right? Just so we can always have it, because we do a weekly news show or kind of like
it's a TV
show. Like, it's like a 5-minute show that the kids do. And so I thought this would be a cool package to show the entire school. So not only we picked one of the films for them to actually see during, our viewing, but they also saw how the actual film was made.
Right.
So they saw the challenge. They saw what we're about to see in Garden State Film Festival.
Exactly.
Yes. So tell me about the crew. Who made this film, the challenge, possible? I know you guys all produced it, but I know Aaron was a writer on it. Kazim directed it. Tell me a little bit about how you got this team together to make this.
So honestly, we were just assigned this because we have collaborated on other things before and they've come out so well. So we took all this footage together. Ariane, he wrote the script for that voiceover. Me and Casey or Kazim went over and looked at all that footage and editing. There was so much footage. We had to chop everything down. There was so much. And the filming for that, everybody had something to say. So that was great for us because we need everyone's opinion and their experience and everything. And I'm glad it was just a positive experience for everybody and that everybody enjoyed themselves.
And then they also had opportunity to, like, after we had all the B-roll, go back and re-interview some of the people that participated in it and kind of, give it that whole documentary feel to kind of have them tell their experiences and how they did it. And then we reached out to the other high school that participated, and we sent them questions. Yeah. And they recorded some interviews and they sent them some interviews back to us. And then they incorporated the interviews inside the piece as well. Yeah.
So collaborative.
Yes.
Right? And creative. I love that.
It was a really neat happening when it all started to come together at the end.
Wow. And how long did it take for it to come together? It sounds like editing was probably, but you also had people do some interviews post filming. So how long did this all take to make the challenge?
Yeah, about a week and a half, We had to get that script together for the voiceover. We had to find a day where everybody could be filmed for those interviews. And then we had to get the interviews from Lyndon, and then we had to edit that all together. So yeah, about a week and a half.
A lot of rough cuts and changes and adding things in, just like any other kind of documentary film.
A little salt, a little pepper, a little cheese.
Exactly. Tasting it, then getting the flavors just right. Exactly. So you all, Kennedy, you were the producer, and Michael and PJ, you executive produced this. What went into, what does that mean for the challenge? What do those roles entail?
I guess for us, it would be just giving them the opportunity to kind of like experience, making an actual short film, also making a documentary while we're doing it. And so it's a teaching class. So every week they have to do, either short segments or promotional spots for the school. So they're like a little production company within the school, because these are all seniors in the class. So most of these students have taken the class for 3 years, and this is their final year. Many of them are interested in going into television and film or into acting or into the entertainment business anyway. And so they're going to major in that. So what we try to do in the class is give them real life experiences of what it would look like to work in a production company or what it would look like working in an actual television studio.
Mhm.
And they produce a show every week. And so we already have producers and directors and
Right.
videographers and editors. They all have roles that they have to do. So it's not a typical class where we give them tests and assignments. It's like, okay, you have to produce this weekly show. And on Monday, y'all have to decide what the segments are going to be, who's hosting it,
Right.
who's going to edit it. We produce it live on tape, the weekly show, and it goes up on the school's YouTube page. And we average about, anywhere from 300 to 400 views, per week of people watching it. The whole school gets to see it. And so it gives them an opportunity to see if they're interested in becoming a filmmaker or working in this business or going to college to do this. Here's an opportunity in high school for them to experience that.
That's a gift. It sounds so much fun, but so knowledgeable all before college and all before a job. Even if you don't go to college, you can just get a job right after this. What better training?
Right, and that's what we're doing here. We're also giving them the ability to, if they want to go into the field, they have the ability to do that right away. They have the experience.
So speaking on this, why do you think what you do is so important? And why do you think just being, especially, I want to ask you, Kennedy, a young filmmaker, like a young artist, why is it so important to start sharing that voice, to start making that content, as soon as you can?
I think it's important because you need to show people what you can do. Everybody's always watching. And as we say in like the theater company, you're always auditioning.
Yeah.
So I think that is like really, really important to, start as early as you can and get your stuff out there so you can get noticed and have those connections. Like, now I have this connection. So whenever I need something, I can just be like, hey, I have the expertise now. Yeah. So
Right. Do you want to add anything, Michael and PJ? I mean, you're teachers of these young artists, teaching them how to work in the field. Why is it so important?
Well, first, I think it's important to give them their voice, to enable them to find their voice and be able to put that into some sort of a visual form to tell their stories, because we all have a story to tell. And if we could help them, if we could guide them as executive producers in developing that story, then we've done our jobs. And one of the things I think me and Mike do well is we poke, we prod, we push.
Yeah.
Sometimes we beg and borrow.
Yeah. Yes.
But that was really a part of it. Prepping them before we did this workshop challenge, giving them all the tools that they need, developing those skills, and then throwing them into the mix and having them figure it out. Right. One of the things I also really want to impress upon them is that right now, the important thing about right now is that make your mistakes, take your risks, try it out. You've got nothing to lose. Explore, experiment, and just have fun and develop your craft.
Yeah, and I think students need to learn how to be creators. We talk about filmmakers, but their generation, they're really creators, right? They use the internet, they use TikTok, they use Instagram, and they're constantly scrolling through and looking at so many different types of content. And so I'm always challenging them that the content that you're looking at that someone else created, you can create your own content. Right. And so that electronic content that they create now is so important, especially in today's generation, in today's technology, even in school. If we want to communicate something to our students, we're not going to put up a flyer anymore around school. All right. Because most of the kids are on their phones. All right. And so if they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, they're on Facebook, whatever they're on, we have to meet them where they're at. And so we have to train our new generation of students, right, to be able to communicate and give that content to them. Right. And like Kennedy said, have a voice as well. Right. So our show, our weekly show, they can talk about anything, they can talk about, some issues that are going on in the school, something that might be going on in the community, or just maybe just advertising, hey, the basketball game, or it's senior night. All right. But we want to challenge them to use their technology to create their own voice to kind of publicize what's going on in their lives.
Right.
Yep. Not just filmmakers, but creators. I love that. And innovators. It's amazing. I love this program. We're running out of time, but I really want to ask you guys, because PJ, I know you've been at Garden State Film Festival plenty of times. And one of the great things about this festival, not just it's a great festival and in the screenings we get to see, but also the networking opportunities and the fact that there's so many categories, one of them being high school films. And that's what we're going to see the challenge in. So why do you think it's so important for Garden State Film Festival to exist? Also, this is a homegrown film. You guys are in New Jersey. I mean, why is it so important that this festival is here?
It is an amazing forum for artists alike to come together and share their work. I mean, we don't make this stuff to put in our bedrooms and watch on our TV screens. We make this stuff to let people know what's going on, to tell people things that need to be known, whether they are serious issues or just something funny in a story. It's a community to share, and that's what it's about. Especially when you go outside of New Jersey and you bring the world in. It's an international festival where you'll be able to meet people that do exactly what you do, just a whole different way and somewhere else, and see through someone else's eyes.
And I think it gives young people, and I'm glad you have this opportunity for young people to participate, because at the end of the year, we have our own, what we would say, our own film festival, our own award show where we acknowledge the student films at the end of the year. But it's always nice to have opportunities for our students to go elsewhere, to see other people's students. So we participate in other student film festivals.
Right.
And so this is another opportunity for them to get their work out there and to see other filmmakers and creators themselves.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations on making the challenge and getting accepted into Garden State Film Festival. Everything you just heard these wonderful artists say, it is at Garden State Film Festival. You get to see the challenge as well as over 200 films from all different levels, all different themes, all different categories, music videos, animations. There's so much amazing stuff out there. Definitely check it out. Get your tickets at gsff.org/tickets. And we will see you at the 22nd Annual Garden State Film Festival. Thanks again, guys, and have a wonderful night.
Thanks, Sophia. Bye-bye.
Bye.